Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and this is the K001 key and knob, lever, and deadbolt cylinder used for commercial locks. So if you have like a grade 1, grade 2, and it has a Schlage style cylinder design, that just means that it just kind of, it's like really the generic standard for cylinders. 90% plus on the aftermarket world of commercial locks also use this same design. And these cylinders are designed to replace current cylinders in the commercial locks. So the most, for example, would be if you have a customer who has a commercial lever that's a Schlage Keyway, but they need it to be a Wiser Keyway or like a Sargent Keyway, is what you could do is buy the Sargent or Wiser Keyway K001 cylinder and replace it inside the existing lock. So that way you or nor your customer would have to purchase a whole new lock. You could just use a cylinder. Also, if you buy like a Schlage lock, like which Keyway, what this is, it's going to pin up perfectly to just the standard OEM specs pins. You could use universal pins or original, doesn't matter. Either way is totally fine. Now, we have a couple of common questions we're always getting on these cylinders, and I just want to go over them real quick. So the first one is going to be, if you look at the product description or any advertisements about these cylinders, most of them are going to talk about the fact that they are drilled 6, pinned 5. And as what that means is, if you look here, so I just took this one apart before the video, and you'll see that there's 5 pins in here, and then the last one, there's a spot for it, but there's nothing in it. Right, so this is a Schlage 5-pin SC1 key, so obviously there'd be no reason to put anything in there. Now, inside of the plug housing here, let me open it up and I'll show you. See right there, that's the sixth chamber, and there's nothing in it. So if you were going to need to like pin up a 6-pin key to this cylinder, you would need to add the spring and the top pin, and then obviously when you were rekeying it, you'd need to, or putting the bottom pins in, you'd need to put one in the 6th chamber there, and then you're going to be good to go as far as that's concerned. Now it does come with this pack of tail pieces, so it's going to fit just a whole wide variety of applications. And as what I did is I've taken apart 3 different locks, and I'll show you what each one kind of looks like if you were going to replace the cylinder. So this is just a generic grade 2 commercial knob, and this is the cylinder that I pulled out of it. Now if we compare this cylinder to the GMS cylinder, you'll notice that that tail piece is a little longer. Now on the standard applications like this one, I know I've done it in the past, you can actually just stick this cylinder right inside the knob here when you're done rekeying it, and you're going to be perfectly fine. Now, if you find an application that difference is actually a deal breaker, is what you'd want to do is either A, use one of the other tail pieces provided. You could always shave this existing one down with like a grinder, or you could try taking this tail piece out and putting it onto this GMS cylinder and seeing if it will work. So those are your options for every time you need to retrofit one of these cylinders and replace them. So that's what the knob cylinder looks like. I took apart a grade 2 generic deadbolt, and this is the cylinder that came out of it. Now, obviously, when I compare this deadbolt cylinder to the GMS, this tailpiece that comes standard on it is not long enough. So in this case, you would want to use this long deadbolt cylinder, and as you can see here, there's little creases, so you can break it off to get the perfect length if it's not right when you get it put on there. So in that situation, you just put the different tailpiece on, you'd make it the same length, and then you would put it back in the door. It's really that simple. And the last one here is going to be the grade 2 lever that I took this cylinder out of. So if you look at this cylinder compared to this GMS one, as you can see, kind of like the knob, it's about the same length. So this should work without a problem. If it ends up being a little bit too long, you could do the same things as the knob, right? You could grind this down, try replacing the cylinder, or using one of the existing cylinder or tail pieces that are provided. So that's it. So that's the K001 universal replacement cylinder for Schlage type cylinder locks that are commercial grade 1 and 2. Now the Ilco makes one very similar to this, and their part number is 15995. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.